How's it going today? Welcome back, or welcome for the first time to TRUEBUDSTV for Infusions and Edibles 101. I have so many videos talking about this and I get tons of questions. So I'm like, let me just do a little overview, do a little Edibles 101. So let's start with the base. Before we get into the different infusion methods, let's say you can use concentrate or flower. I just have some flower here. Your first thing you need to decide is, are you going to decarboxylate your concentrate or flower? Decarbing is, just real briefly, I have several videos I'll link below too, is activating your cannabis. So you put it in the oven, 200 to 240, for 20 to 40 minutes usually. Find the right time that works for you. Or you can put it in these devices as well to help it decarb, like the LEVO. But what that's going to do is take the THCA that's in there and turn it into THC, the psychoactive component that gets you high. Now, some people don't like to decarb because they like having more terpenes prevalent in their batch. Maybe you'll have less, you will have less THC, but you'll have more terpenes and more of that entourage effect. And that's why chefs love cooking without decarbing a lot of times. So we covered that decarb. Now you're saying, okay, so let's start from the beginning. You can put it in the oven, like I said, here, so you have decarbed or you haven't. Your next step is, how are you going to infuse? Obviously, I have these devices here. The LEVO 2, the LEVO C are my go-tos and some of my favorites. And then we got the magical butter is nice. A little crock pot here is always a nice option. A double broiler, or just a pan. I'm missing the double broiler part, but it could be a double broiler. Or you just put a mason jar in here with the lid on and make that into a double broiler. So you take your cannabis, and let's say we're using this coconut oil here. So you take your non-decarbed or decarbed cannabis, you put it in the crock pot, you put it in the magical butter, pan, LEVO, or whatever, and then you add your oil to it. Let's say you had this bag here and we wanted to add all this oil. That'd be a pretty big batch. I usually like to make it a little more potent. That's as simple as it is. Dump it all in there together in the crock pot. Let it go on low for, 2 to 4 to 6 hours, depending how you like it. Same for here. And here, just dump it in the mason jar with the oil and put it on. And here, you put it in the pods that come with the LEVO. So this one has a really big pod that can fit over an ounce. This one has smaller pods, but you can do 2 in there. You can also add an extra pod in here. And again, these are all kind of all-in-one devices here with the LEVO. The magical butter did come with a cool little decarb box that also cuts down with smell. So you got it done there. You got your cannabis in your oil. It's infusing no matter what method you're using. Crock pot, magical butter, LEVO, double broiler, mason jar method. No matter the method that you're doing, it's infusing right now and you're about good to go. So you just need to decide the temperature you're going to cook it at. I usually believe in a low and slow tactic. And then you're going to strain it through for a long time. I still use cheesecloth, but actually, let me see if I can grab it real quick. I have this, where is it? Where is it? I know I have it here somewhere. Well, oh, there it is. So here is the other little LEVO pods I was talking about. And then this little fine mesh strainer was like $7, $8 off Amazon, is a lifesaver when you're straining out your infusions. Now, your infusion is done, the timer's gone off. You've strained it through here. You've strained it through the cheesecloth, whatever you're feeling, and you're left with your final infusion. Then you can test it with the T-Check 2 Potency Tester, which I love. Or you can just put it in a jar. And then you're saying, so I got the infusion. What am I going to do? What do you want to add it into? The world is your oyster here. I like doing, my favorite thing actually, once again, I just saw them, is doing these, taking this finished oil here and putting them in capsules. So this is a coconut avocado oil, nice amount of fats in there. Put them in the capsules. You can put them in anything. These no-bake granola bars are super good. Get creative. I've done so many other recipes, and that's what I'm going to start doing more, is other recipes. I've just been all about really nailing the infusion first and foremost. And there's so much going on in all these other videos. I do some in-depth stuff in coconut oil, clarifying butter, honey. There's so many different options you can do when it comes to infusing. And like I said, it can be overwhelming. You see all this out there. There's so much content. And the thing I always repeat is, find what works for you. Do you like using the crock pot? Do you want to put something on and walk away? Do you want to do the same thing with the LEVO? I mean, same with the magical butter. The only thing that takes a little more concentration really is the double broiler. But that's about a wrap, guys. I know there's probably some pieces I'm trying to think of right now that I might have missed when it comes to Infusion 101, kind of some hacks or stuff that I've learned. Like I said, low and slow. It's easy to overcook or overheat. I'd always rather heat it up more, because once you heat it up too much, you can never go backwards. And, you know, when it comes to the should I make my own edibles and should I do a store-bought edible thing, really depends on you. I like having control too of my homemade edibles, but if you're somebody that doesn't take that much, you have a super low tolerance, maybe you want to go to the store. Or maybe you just want to make your own stuff because it's fun. There's so many different ways you can approach it. And I guess what I'm saying is no right answer, but there's definitely some wrong ways to go about it. But in general, like, find what works for you. And I hope this video finds you well, guys.